Hi, this is Thundy from Booredatwork.com and welcome to our full review of the Sidekick 4G. So we've gone over the hardware. We've talked about how the hardware of the Sidekick 4G is. Just one quick correction. This is a 3.2 megapixel camera. Some people have suggested theirs are actually 3, but this is actually 3.2 and I'll show you that later. Again, this is your menu, your back, your home, and these are your jump keys. So let's go ahead, take a look, and continue the review. So once we turn it on, the cool thing about the Sidekick 4G is this new lock screen that basically if you slide down, that's to unlock, or if you slide up, that takes you to the jump key shortcuts and things like that. And of course you slide down, that unlocks it. Sorry about that. Okay, hit the home screen. So let's go ahead. It's a Sidekick, so we might as well pull out the keyboard and slide it out. First thing with the Sidekick 4G, I'm just going to bring this in closer so you guys can take a better look. Here is the notification bar. You pull down the notification bar, gives you quick access to update your status on Facebook and Twitter. So that does that immediately, and this shows you the social and connectivity side of the Sidekick that that was original with the Sidekick, and they've been trying to push with the 4G. So that's the first thing you can do. A couple other things I noticed. Again, this is running Android 2.2, but over a you could say a custom skin of its own. Your phone's app and contacts are on the side here. They don't auto rotate; they actually stay up there on the side. So basically, you can jump into your phone, and of course, you do have a standard dial. I'm just going to close this up. Have your keypad, your key logs, favorite voicemails, and basically you can, as you dial a number, it basically brings up contacts you have on your device. So just head back out here again. Of course, this phone was developed by Samsung, so you do have some of the TouchWiz interface that you get with TouchWiz. So for instance, you go into settings. We can see there's actually LED settings here, which is also a new additive. So basically, you can check out the LED settings for your SMS, your missed calls, emails, power charging, and things like that. So that gives you a whole new different array of settings in there. They also have settings for notification pop-ups. So basically, and of course for your jump keys. Now this is your jump key button. Hitting that takes you to your jump keys, where you can easily jump into your settings phone, or you can actually set up whatever jump keys you want. So that's something that's actually pretty nice with the Sidekick 4G. Just head back to the home screen here. So a couple of things about the Sidekick 4G you notice is it does have regular messaging and group messaging. Now you can set up groups to send group messages, and you actually have a group dialogue. So I can show you an example here. Into messaging here, we can see a bunch of messages. This one from Jesse, and then there's Board of Work, and then you have my homies, Mateus, and fam. So basically the icons here, the individual icons that with individual faces as an individual, and the icons with basically 3 or more people shows that's a group icon. So if I go into my homies, you can see messages here, and actually shows you the names of the different people who are sending messages. So there's me, there's Jesse, a bunch of different messages, and you can so you can see how that works out. And they're basically 4 members in this group. So that gives you a very simple idea. Of course, you can create a new message, and once you create a new message, you can actually go through and select individuals to create new messages from. So that gives you a rough idea of how that interface works, and it's pretty nice, especially if you're using the group functionality. A couple other things that are also new or with the Sidekick is the music player, or the music playlist. You jump into the player. Sorry, just go in there. You can have a playlist, artists or albums, which is regular music player, but also slide over to video. Your video content actually gives you access into YouTube, mobile TV, or a couple other videos if you have any videos on your system. And of course, then you also have Slack or Radio, which you can jump into, which is not really an app, but it's actually built in with the music player. So that's a nice additive. It gives you a very different feel overall to the system. The keyboard is great, fantastic. It's very traditional to what you have with the Sidekick. and it works very well. The spacing is very nice, so actually using the keyboard is very, very good. Typing, sending messages, email, texting is quite easy, so it's very easy to navigate. Your gallery, of course, you do have that there, but you also have your media room, which basically jumps back into your music player and all that stuff. So it's basically a whole media gallery in there. The camera is a front-facing camera, and that's basically Quirk. I'm sorry, it's basically a VGA camera, so nothing, you know, extraordinary about that in general. Pictures are pretty crisp. I can take you to the camera itself to take a look, and we will add a video clip to this. This is the camera itself. It does have what you have, your typical Samsung camera settings. You go into the settings here. Just showing you the resolution quickly. If I can just jump into that here, resolution 3.2 megapixels. Even though some people have reported 3 megapixels overall as the max resolution. You can, of course, look at the front-facing camera, which is VGA. You can see that. I will take a quick pic, add that to the review, of course, so you guys can take a look. And yeah, so you can rotate back. You know, of course, you can records at 480p. So that's what you have. Recording outdoors with the Sidekick 4G. Yeah, it's a windy day here, I know. It's a bird feeder, so you guys can check that out. Leaves and buds are springing out slowly. I'll give you about 30 seconds here. Little tree house, so you guys get a feel of it. It's cars on the road, you know. And then we'll do something indoors at night or something, you know. Check it out. Enjoy. It feels very, very good. It's a very solid device. You know, feels comfortable. I did a quick test. I actually gave it to my cousin, who was about 15 over the weekend, and just for her to use and see how she felt. And you know, she was quick to pick it up, and it pretty much fit that market that it's built for. So it's something that it's good to know that, especially younger kids and young individuals who are looking for a messaging phone and a phone that does a lot of social connectivity. This works very well for them. Another thing to note about the Sidekick 4G is it is a 21 megabits per second device. So we did speed tests. We just jump into that here quickly so you guys can take a look. This app doesn't rotate, so we'll go in here. We do a speed test. We've done several speed tests, of course, but it's just looking for closest location. So begin test. I'll just do 3 tests so you guys can check it out. Probably might get better results since it's actually a little later at night. So we do have 6 megapixels for downloads, 6.6 megabits per second for downloads, another megapixels, and about 1.6. Restart test, do it again, see what else we get. About 8.6. And 1.7, and finally one more. 8.3, and probably around 1.7 again. Just let this finish up. And about 1.7. So that's what you have for your speed test. So you can see the results there. Just gonna try and zoom in just a little bit so you can see we've done a couple. You can see it's varied, but I guess I'll say if I did the average of this whole thing is probably around 6 in general. But with our little quick test, it was about 8.6. The lower ones, of course, were where we had Wi-Fi turned on, which you can see right there with the test. But that makes a lot of sense. So overall, since again the Boston area doesn't have 21 megabits per second HSPA plus, so that could play effect to it. But you can see even without it, you do get higher speeds. I believe in my G2, I'm doing around 4 on average in the area. So that's just showing you what the Mitre 4G is. Now, how does the device feel? From my use, it feels very comfortable. It is a messaging device. You definitely will use it for a lot of messaging, emails, chats, and all that kind of fun stuff. The button layout is kind of weird for an Android user just because you have your 4 or your major Android buttons all spread out. There is no search button, of course, because you do have a jump key button, which I don't think is really necessary because you usually will have the keyboard open up anyway. The front-facing camera is okay. It's a VGA camera, so there's nothing special about it, and the optical pad here for movement it's okay, it's fine, it's nothing wrong with it. Location of the headset, M3.5 M jack is actually pretty good, especially if you're using it and you listening to music and messaging at the same time. It does work out well there. The rear camera does take some good stills during the daytime. At night, not so much. Battery life has been was actually pretty good from extensive use and messaging and all that fun stuff. Lasted pretty well, so I would say you could get a good full day of use on the device. So if you guys have any questions, any comments about this, I would say the Sidekick 4G is a Sidekick. It literally is. It's what you, if you love the Sidekick, you would love this. If you love the original, you would love this very well, because it does what a Sidekick does. It's basically, it's a full messaging device that is very socially connected, and they've done a lot of things with the feeds and different things to add a lot of social connectivity to it. So it's something that you definitely, I can see it's a solid device. So yeah, for that, I think it's basically for a certain age range too. So if you guys have any questions, any comments, let us know. Don't forget to subscribe to all our pages on Facebook, Twitter. They're all Booredatwork, as well as hit us up on the website Booredatwork.com. This is Thunder from Booredatwork saying thank you, and always enjoy entertainment.